Hi, everybody. Welcome to episode 4 of the Flow Pro Show, coming at you live from Teams.
Yeah.
And I'm live from Pittsburgh. I'm Sandy. And Daniel, you want to introduce yourself?
I'm Daniel, and I'm live from Utrecht in the Netherlands.
Hi, and we've got a couple special guests with us today. We've got Vivek from, where are you located? Cincinnati?
So Tip City, which probably nobody knows. So it's Dayton, Ohio, and probably that also some people might know, some people might not know, but it's close to Cincinnati.
Okay. And Geetha, you're from Texas somewhere.
Yes, Dallas, Texas.
Oh, okay, great. Welcome. So as usual, we're going to start out with some Flow news. We have been a little while away because we were so busy in May going to conferences and things that, so we've got some news to catch up on here, but we're going to do that. So let me switch over to my slides. And first of all, we've got a new logo. That's one thing since the last show. We're really excited to have have Alicia Mitchum create us what we think is a pretty cool logo. And Daniel's got stickers even.
Yeah.
I got one. Yes.
I don't have one yet.
Yeah. I have to print some new ones because I got the cheap option, and that's not good.
Yeah, I was thinking, I need to get some printed too, and then I could share them when next conference. Okay, cool. So Flow news. All right, so we've got just kind of going through the blogs. There's some additional data gateway management that's available now in the admin center, giving you some additional visibility and being able to manage your installers for the data gateway. Do any of you guys use that really to be able to speak to how great that is?
I used it on, I think I did that with SQL.
Oh, okay.
And with some SharePoint on-premises stuff. But the interesting part about this is actually that it's another feature that's coming to the Power Platform Admin Center. And they're really focusing on that instead of all the different Power Apps and Flow admin centers. So they're really unifying the whole thing. So that's really cool.
Yeah,
and it's also possible now to see the personal mode of the on-premises data gateway, so that you can see that somebody installed the on-premises data gateway on a personal machine or something. And then you can make sure you can turn it off and restrict it to a certain amount of people, for instance, to install the data gateways.
Oh, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Next, we have open source connectors. I mean, that sounds really cool to me, but I'm not a developer, so those of you who do more of that probably is even better.
We have a guy here right now that's his Twitter handle is that API guy, so I think we should ask him.
So I guess I saw the video as well. I couldn't attend the session, and they had a session at MBAS for this. So basically, today you see like a lot of people asking for, okay, in Teams, these are the list of actions, but I want this action which is there in the Graph API, but I'm not able to do it. So people are going and creating custom connectors and trying to build it on their own using the Graph API. So what Microsoft is doing now is trying to build all those connectors onto GitHub open source so that people can contribute those custom connectors, what they were making, they can just add it to the existing connectors and then submit a pull request. So people who know GitHub a lot, they know the forking and pulling and all that stuff. But basically, it's a way for others to contribute, and so that it kind of pushes out things much more faster than the product team only working on it. A lot of people are anyways working on it, so why not use that and create more stuff?
Yeah. So Vivek, did you already create an Alexa connector, and did you do a pull request, or is it not that far yet?
I mean, I'm not that. I mean, I know how I can do that, but I don't know how to test stuff because they have a CLI tool to deploy it and then kind of test the connectors. I'm still trying to scratch that surface. I'm a bit of an API guy, not that pro API guy. So, but yeah, I think a lot of people are gonna use it to contribute. They have launched some of the connectors. They're gonna add much more going ahead. But yeah, it's still on the starting stages, I would say.
Yeah,
So
and
do you
this
think
is one of my favorite announcements too, because this actually does empower the wider community to, share all the awesome stuff that they build. If you probably build something that's used by your organization, but there's a wider community out there that can actually use it, then you just go share it. It's open source. Or if there's an existing connector that you feel like there's an additional functionality or a feature or a bug fix, or it could be anything, you could totally go in and fork the branch on GitHub, make changes and push it, and then the team will go through the process of validating and vetting it out. But yeah, I think this is definitely it kind of just speaks to the investment the team is making in embracing the community as a whole and all of the knowledge sharing that comes with it.
Yeah, I was sort of wondering, do you feel like the biggest advantage or use case is in new custom connectors or in extending the existing connectors?
I think extending the existing, at least the Office connectors, like Office, like the Outlook, the Teams, the OneDrive, SharePoint, all those. Excel. There's a lot of things that you can add to it. And John's just commenting right now. Every time he writes a Swagger file, he just wants to give up.
No way, John. You can't say that. You're not allowed to say that.
But if he's able to contribute all those things, a lot of people will benefit from it. So yeah, I'm already seeing a lot of people being able to.
Yeah, I think I would definitely think it would start with extending the existing ones, because that's a good way to learn too, how to work with these open source connectors. So just pick up something that's already built out, see how you can extend a small piece of it to do something that's missing, and then eventually you can start building your own connectors. So I think that's definitely the path to go.
Yeah, so soon we will be able to order something on Amazon, like makeup and stuff like that.
Yeah, we'll see that.
Yeah, for those of you who aren't aware, that's a reference to Vivek's recent YouTube video on using the AI functionality to order his wife's makeup. I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah,
that was very creative. Yeah.
Yeah, worked out pretty well. A lot of people, at least for my wife, it worked out pretty well.
Well, now she probably doesn't even have to text you anymore. She can just say, Alexa, the order.
Yeah.
Siri, just do it.
Well, I don't want to do so much automation. Let's keep it at least to one channel here.
Yeah, you don't want to get out of the picture pretty soon. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Okay, is that it for that topic? Okay. Next is the ability to run instant flows, which is the like what had been called, I think, manual flows or button flows before, from within business process flows. Daniel, you said that you talked with Karan a bit about that recently.
Yeah, I'm trying to get a little bit more into the business process flows, because I think not a lot of people are doing that right now, and I think they have a lot of value. Because for the more structured way of handling data and stuff like that, you probably want to use business process flows. And I'm a big fan of state machine, and it's still not in automated flows. So that's why I really like the business process flows as well. But they recently integrated the instant flows from within a business process flow. So imagine, for instance, on an onboarding process, you have like order a laptop or do stuff like that, or create an account, or lots of other tasks you have that. And normally they would have had a checkbox, for instance, so that somebody has created an account, but it's still manual action. And now you can just click run flow, and then it can create an account in Azure AD, for instance, or something like that, or send an email to a supplier to get a laptop or something.
Well, so are those things that you wouldn't normally be able to do in a business process flow itself?
Well, you can do it when you go to the next stage, because then there's a status change, and then you can trigger another flow. But it's not possible to just click a button and run a flow.
I see. To be able to do it manually when you want to do it.
Yeah.
So, I guess I'm not very much aware about this, but is it going to replace dialogues to some extent? Do you know what the dialogue thing is in?
No.
Okay. All right. Because dialogues is also kind of like a flow in the background. You click on a button, it runs a flow, but it's a workflow within CRM. I'm guessing this could be something that could, and I'll have to dig it a bit more deeper.
Yeah, I think this is coming from CRM side, so it might be this a replacement for that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, things seem to be converging a bit, don't they?
Yeah. Yeah, and John is commenting on John Liu is commenting on me that I must be using a BPF because he needs a state machine. Yeah, that's totally it. I can't configure a search his pattern. It's so difficult, but no, it's okay.
You just can't let that go, can you, Daniel?
Yeah, sorry. We all need it. Come on.
Okay.
It will be there sometime.
All right. And then we just wanted to mention, this wasn't in a blog post or anything, but I think this has been since our last show that there's a new flow creation experience where when you say new, then you get to choose to begin with whether you want an automated, an instant, or a scheduled flow. And when you click that, then it brings up a different dialogue, which helps you through getting that triggered correctly based on what you're after, which I think is pretty cool from especially for beginners, I guess, to be able to do that without needing to know quite so much to begin with. What do you guys think?
Yeah.
Yeah, and also for those Power Apps people, there's a way to start from Power Apps as the trigger. So that's also pretty cool. And the good thing is you can name the flow before you start.
I like
doing
that
the flow.
too. Yeah. Because I when they moved a while back, it was like that where the naming was at the very top and you couldn't really miss it. But then they moved it like to the upper left, and then I kept forgetting to name it. And then it named. I like that too.
Something. Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, and the dashboard look too. I think that I love how the dashboard has got a modern look to it. Clean. And it kind of pops out, the different widgets pop out, and all the menu buttons at the top are, they actually, now you actually can see pretty clearly, what options you have that you can work with.
Yeah.
So it's amazing.
And one thing which I don't know if it existed before, did the description exist before?
The what?
The description thing? Okay. I guess
But I guess it was just not that obvious that you could, see the whole thing. But now you can, and you have an edit icon just to edit the description alone. Because when this first came out, I would always make the mistake of going to edit, thinking it's going to edit the flow itself, and then it's just I think it's just for the description. But I love the overall
consistent look. Yeah, I think it's more consistent with other tools and things.
Right.
Too.
Yes. Kind of this unified interface coming together,
Okay. And another thing that is out is the since our last show was the location trigger, and I didn't see a blog post about it, but I think maybe it's because it doesn't always work yet. I've been mostly just testing it, like not trying to use it in something real, but it seems like sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. So I had set one when it first came out to because I'm living near PNC Park, which is the Pittsburgh Pirates baseball stadium. And so I thought, well, I'll set a location trigger there. So when I'm near the ballpark, it'll tweet, "Let's go Bucks." And so I set that up, and I was really sad that it didn't work when I went to the ball game on last Sunday, I think it was. But then we went for a walk the other night and walked past the ballpark, and then it worked. I can't say that it's consistent, but it's pretty cool. I mean, when you set to edit the trigger region, then it gives you a map, and you can make this area as large or small as you want. So like I have one also set at my house, and then you can obviously do whatever actions you want. I'm trying to figure out, so it triggers either when you enter or when you leave. So sometimes, like on my home one, sometimes it'll trigger when I arrive home, but sometimes only when I leave. And yeah, so it's just not quite consistent yet. But what I'd like to figure out is how you can make it determine which thing you're doing. Are you coming or going? I'm guessing you could probably do that somehow with like getting the location of your device a few seconds apart, or or something like that, and see whether you've left or arrived. But I haven't actually done much testing with it.
I think that's available in the body of the.
Well, you're right. I know your location is right, but then I'm not sure.
No, the entering or leaving is also in there, but it's really hidden, so it's not.
All right.
It's not like a simple dynamic content field or something like that.
Oh, all right. Okay. Well, I'll have to look for that, because that would be key to really using it, I think. So.
Yeah, but it's still in preview, right?
Yes.
So I think they will.
Although, I mean, that doesn't say preview to the side, but I think it is really. I don't know.
Yeah.
Anyhow, but it's cool.
Yet.
It's really cool.
Yeah.
Right.
And Dennis is saying, I would also find the test option useful for this trigger. That's actually also a really good one.
Yeah, I'm not sure how. I guess if you entered a location, you could test it somehow.
So you have to walk to that location all the time, and.
Well, when I was first testing it, I mean, that's what I did. I went out, I walked down the street a few blocks, and then walked back. Anyway.
Well, you're getting more healthier by using that.
That's right. Yeah, that's right.
All your walks and steps while you can.
Right.
Yeah. Okay. And there's actually one more really big thing that is available right now in preview. Okay. And yeah, that's something we showed actually at the last Pro show. Yeah. Sune showed it, and it's now in preview, and I hope it's coming out really soon, maybe today or tomorrow or something. Oh, okay. So that would be really cool.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that's something that I just can.
Right.
Yeah, I just can't wait for it to come in to become GA. It's such a time saver, and it would just make my life a lot easier with the number of actions you have to repeatedly do. I'm
already changing my flows all the time because I use a lot more scopes right now because it's easier to copy them. And,
that's right. Yeah.
So I'm using a lot of scopes now, and
Okay. Well, we'll be sure to cover that in the next show then, actual use cases. All right, cool. On to community news. So just some blog posts and things that we found interesting, kind of randomly, I guess. But if anybody has suggestions for things we should showcase in our community segment in upcoming shows, please let us know. So I liked Ed Gonzalez's blog post recently on date time calculations. I really like his blog posts in general. I like the way he writes and explains things. And this one was calculating a difference in time and really walking through all the steps on doing that, because it's not necessarily trivial.
I really like this post as well. I saw it just a little while ago, but I really like the whole daytime stuff in there because at the beginning it was really hard to do daytime calculations, and when they got to the daytime connector, it got a lot easier. Right. But still, I think it's not. There's not that much attention to it because a lot of people are just like, it's there, but they don't really appreciate it, maybe, or I don't know.
But it's critical for lots of applications. So I feel like there are more date-time actions that could be added and abstract out some of that things that you need to do manually now.
Yeah, especially I don't know, the difference one. I guess the difference one is not there yet.
That's the most common. Conversions to different formats and
conversion is there. I guess the difference one is not there yet. So that's probably you using expressions. So hopefully we'll get something soon on that.
Yeah. Or somebody could write it, right? Would that be true now with the open source connectors?
Yeah, that's a good idea for a connector. Yes.
Hey,
probably write one. Yeah.
Okay. I mean, we have the date-time connector. Is it considered a connector? And it's like a built-in thing that we could add. That you could add actions to.
Yeah, you can extend it to do, calculations and things like that.
Okay, there you go, devs.
Yeah.
All right. Do you want to talk about this one, Daniel?
Yeah. Well, I saw a blog post from Flo Joe, and it's actually part of.
He's hot. He writes all kinds of stuff now.
Yeah, and he does a lot of crazy videos with really nice backgrounds and stuff like that, with a green screen and. Yeah. But he did a really cool, Flow application actually, and he had a custom connector about the NHL teams information for what the scores were and stuff like that, and then. It would actually just create a push notification when something happened, and it's really nice to see how he did that. And I think he's relatively new to Flow, but he's doing lots of really great stuff and really advanced stuff as well. So I think that's really cool to take a look at all of his posts and videos. So I just wanted to give him a shout out in here.
Okay, you'll have to check that one out. I'm a big NHL fan, so. Okay, and then this one.
Yeah, this one was from Rick de Koning. He's a fellow Dutch guy, and he created a flow that will publish files from SharePoint.
Or to?
Sorry?
From SharePoint or to SharePoint?
Yeah, it's like a publishing mechanism so it will copy the file to a destination library when you are trying to publish it. So it's like a copy action when the document is final or something like that, and that's really nice.
Okay, and what's the column formatting part?
The column formatting part, let me check again because I forgot about that.
Oh, okay. I'm just curious because I like column formatting in general.
Yeah. Actually, let me check. I'm still not there.
Sorry.
I actually don't see it right now.
Oh, that's all right.
Oh, it was a button. Yeah. It has like a publish button.
I see. So using the column formatting to add the flow button to the source library.
Yeah, so the publish button will open up like the run flow part.
Gotcha. Yeah.
So then you will get for selected stuff.
Right. Okay, cool. Very cool. Okay, so next we're having our guest section, although we've been already commenting anyway, but this is just some background on our guests. So where did you stick in the slides about the conferences? Should I be seeing that here or is it later?
I think that's later.
Oh, all right. Okay. We're just trying to decide whether we synced or not. Anyway, so we already introduced Geetha and Vivek, but do you guys want to say something about your PowerAddicts Hangout or anything like that, just to, as long as we're on this slide?
Sure. Geetha, go ahead.
He's like, I'll leave it to you. So we have our Hangout the second Tuesday of every month, and all skill levels are welcome. You don't have to know the platform. This could be totally an opportunity for you to join us to learn and jump into the whole bandwagon of being a power addict. And we've at MBAS, I think it was an incredible opportunity for us to meet lots and lots of new power addicts. I make friends with several folks, and I'm just amazed at the amount of the passion they have for the platform itself, and everybody was just so incredibly generous enough to share what they know, and it was just felt really great just to be part of it. Just being part of this community is just amazing. So we're all power addicts in our own way. We have our own favorite things to do and things to try out, and so so if you ever if any of you are watching, and if you guys want to join us, be sure to join us the second Tuesday of every month, and Sandy has a link for our YouTube channel, so be sure to join us.
And just to add to that, I want to probably clarify two things. Clarify one thing is Power Addicts is not just Power Apps. It's Power Apps, Flow, Power BI, anything Power Platform. And one of the questions that I got a lot was, how do I become a Power Addict? And when somebody asked me that question, I was like, if you are asking me that question, you're probably already a Power Addict.
I see lots of people with that hashtag on their Twitter handle.
So it's
really nice.
Not something, it's not a separate community as such. It's just everybody who uses Power Platform is just a Power Addict. And we want everyone to be, you can showcase what you're doing. We are just giving a platform as a YouTube channel so that you can come in and show what you're doing and get uplifted. So that's the motto, rise by uplifting others.
I really liked your video thing with the Power Addicts. That blew up really big.
I think that was astonishing to see how, and it was from all over the world. It was just amazing to see different countries and people from different continents just show up, and it was a good way for us to know, oh, you know what? Yeah, we didn't know these people existed, but it's just awesome.
Yeah, there were a lot of people who we got videos from. We didn't even know them. So we just started off, and it started like a chain reaction, and we got like 60, 70 videos.
Wow.
We just put it all together. So it's a global movement, and
we have a question on the comments, but can we get a link to the YouTube channel? Adrienne, if I'm
I'll
right.
I'll be putting that. But I'll put a link I'll put a link also in the comments to the YouTube video to our recording.
April just shared a link. Thanks, April.
Okay. And I am sorry, I should have put both of your Twitter handles on there too, but so if you want to repeat those, because then if people do want to maybe demo something that they're doing in the Power Platform in your Hangout, then they could contact either of you, right? To sort of get on your schedule?
Yeah.
I'll be sure
to I'm that_API_guy.
Okay.
I put it on the team because that API guy was taken by somebody else who never tweets at all.
Oh, that's a shame. I hate when that happens. And yours, Geetha?
I'm just sending it GSIVED. Yeah.
Okay. All right. I'll be sure to put that in the show notes and in YouTube too. All right.
So I'm gonna ask a really, really, really crazy question. But what was your favorite?
Favorite what?
Video from the whole group of videos.
The ones that were submitted.
Hands down the keynote for Power Apps and the Flow platform. The keynote.
I guess keynotes. I guess I'm biased a bit here towards Power Apps.
Well, I guess they were both. I think the Flow one definitely talked about what's coming in the October release, Wave 2 release plan. And, I know Daniel and I were running from one end to the other to go to both the keynotes. We didn't want to miss it. It was just right next to each other. And but it was great to hear it from the monoliths who are the brains behind the product.
And I guess the other thing which was really interesting to see was the real world stories. I wasn't one of those, but I made a point to kind of attend the other ones as well. It was seeing how actually organizations are using it. So there were a bunch of real world story sessions, and it was pretty cool to see how people have been using Power Apps and Flow. And the cool thing is you don't know the capability of the platform until you see what all people have been doing with it. Like you get surprised by what people can do.
Yes. Yeah, I think there were a couple of real world stories that I didn't attend. I couldn't attend all of them, but I made sure to come back and watch them, and I was just totally amazed at the different ways people solve a problem. When they start talking about the problem, the gears in your mind start turning around, thinking, oh, if it were me, I would solve it this way. But then I was just amazed with the end product of what they'd done within a short time. It was just lots of ideas and golden nuggets here and there to pick up from them, and definitely they were really good. And I think the governance patterns were just outstanding.
Yeah.
Can you give any examples?
Schlumberger was one, and then Chevron was one, and then we had we had the other one for the manufacturing industries that Vivek and Rebecca and Simon did as well. So I think all of those, all the patterns that popped out. I mean, there was a unification in the patterns that they were using for governance, and it kind of aligns with the white paper. If you've gone through, I know it's like an 800-page paper. You probably don't have the time to go through it, but it was amazing to see how they've all they all come together visually when you watch those sessions, and it totally makes sense for huge organizations and how they're handling governance and just in general the challenges with IT and things like that. They kind of are really honest about the challenges and talk about how they overcome them.
And to add to that governance piece, they actually launched a package, COE starter kit, and I put the link, and maybe Sandy, you can put that in the show notes.
Sure.
aka.ms/COE starter kit, which basically gives you a whole kind of package to how to implement governance and kind of establish that center of excellence in your company. So that's pretty powerful. I know Denise is one of the person behind it. She has been kind of pushing that from Microsoft. So really great to finally have that package available.
Yeah, and I think it's like a downloadable sample, so you can download it and you can
it has
run
a Power BI dashboard and stuff. So you just need to connect,
powerful.
And you don't need to. I mean, they have done the hard work. You just need to connect.
Yeah, it's like all the work is done. You just need to go in and reconfigure it to how you want it for your organization and make tweaks to it. But yeah, I think that's definitely something everybody should check it out.
Yeah, and the interesting part is actually that it covers all parts of the Power Platform, because it has a Power BI dashboard, it has business process flows, it has automated flows, it has a model-driven app, it has just a Canvas app. There's so many things in there. It's really nice.
Yep. Yeah.
Okay.
So I really like that one. So yeah, let's talk a little bit about the other thing, because during the Business Applications Summit, James Phillips announced the 2019 Wave 2 release plan.
Yeah, so that's different from like October release notes and stuff.
Yeah, I think they kind of they didn't like the October and April thing, because we had lots of people who were asking about the April release, and they wanted to have everything at April.
Right.
And not in September, for instance, because the April release runs from April till I think the end of September or something.
Yes.
And then the October release is from October till the end of March.
Right.
So yeah, I think that's why they changed. But I think some interesting parts about this is actually that they split up the PDFs and also the websites between the Power Platform and the Dynamics 365 part. And I think that's because the PDF of the last time was getting so big that they had to kind of split them out. So there's so many things in there, and now they have like two separate PDFs and two separate websites. So I think that's a good thing.
Okay. Should we try going to that link, or do we just want to, are there highlights that you guys want to talk about? Maybe things that were presented at MBAS? I mean, did did they kind of run through all of the upcoming features during MBAS in the different sessions?
Yeah,
I think even during Steven's session, I think the roadmap, the keynote for Flow, I think he kind of ran through all the upcoming announcements and features.
And I think all of those sessions are now available as recordings, or at least a lot of them, right?
Yes.
And I think I saw, Vivek, you posted something that was just the Flow and Power
I think
Apps.
it was just Power Apps, sorry.
Oh, all right. Okay, that's fine. I'm pretty sure I've seen somewhere where,
No, I think there's a Flow one too. Yes.
Yeah.
We have Flow.
Okay.
But yeah, all the sessions, I mean, it's on Power Apps channel, it's on Flow's channel, it's on Power BI channel. So, and I think one of the things which a lot of people heard it during MBAS was the AI builder. Though, I mean, people might think it's Power Apps, but it's actually Power Platform. I mean, there will be a lot of opportunities for using Flow to train the model. I know it's gonna be something I've tried to play it around with it a bit, because it's actually like CDS on the background, like all the AI models. So, I mean, right now people are just using the AI builder in Power Apps to train the models and detect objects, detect makeup items, swag, all that kind of stuff. But I know Flow is going to play a big role in it in the future, because you need to be able to train the models easily, add some more images to it and all that stuff. So I think it's just something, it's on the surface. When we dig a bit deeper, we'll be able to find out how we can use Flow to actually train the models much more easily. So yeah, that's something definitely you need to check out. A lot of
because you can access the AI builder from the Flow home screen as well, right?
Yes.
So so I'm trying to think what might be some applications that really are just to do with Flow using AI builder.
I guess we need to explore
that. There might be, I mean, I don't know if this is a possibility yet, but to me, it sounds like you can use Flow to do some advanced complex manipulation of your model to automate that based off of a trigger or based off of an additional activity that happens. Or even like, for example, you just use a flick button or something. You use that to train your model. It could be something that could be used in any kind of an industry, or even a Flow button for that fact. Just make it easy for you to just, add data to the backend, to your CDS, just to train your model. So you're not manually doing it, you just automate that process for you, for yourself. So things like that. And I think what's really amazing is how it just kind of shows you how the landscape is changing for this platform. They're actually integrating it with all these services and systems for you. But if you take AI Builder, for example, all the Azure infrastructure and all your machine learning and all that modeling of data is abstracted for you away from your UI. You don't have to worry about that. So you don't have to be a developer to do all of that. You don't need to know how to write the code to do all of that. It's all done for you. All you need to know is what kind of images, what kind of forms, what kind of binary data you want to train. And you just have the sample data and just load it, and all the work is done for you. I mean, it can't get any better than that. Right? It kind of just sticks to the whole concept of rapid app development, rapid flow development. So
I mean, I totally agree with that. And I think one of the use cases which I'm kind of just thinking out loud here could be when an invoice gets added to a SharePoint kind of doc library or something, Flow is able to just analyze it automatically and create add that data into some other SharePoint list. I mean, I have not tried using the AI model in a Flow today, but I'm pretty sure that you can do that. So once you've trained the model, you can use the model. Maybe we can trigger the processing of an invoice automatically using Flow. So I have not tried that yet, but I'm pretty sure you will be able to do that.
Or maybe different kinds of branching depending on.
And also, just to think, I mean, I'm probably very ambitious thinking about this, but if you just think about it from, at a high level, we have Azure integration services with Flow as well, and then you have IoT Central that is getting integrated with Flow as well. So just look at the possibility of IoT on one side, Azure Stack on one side, and the AI Builder. Just imagine how powerful your solutions can become if you can pick data from telemetry that's coming from your device, hook it up with Flow, and then use that to train your model, and then you have a full functioning model that can, capture data from your devices and help you come up with predictions, right? And make changes and take actions that you really need to based off of what the predictions are returned. So I think it's just incredible if you think about the possibilities that are possible with all these integration services that are coming up.
Yep.
Cool.
So yeah, I mean, AI Builder is still in preview. I know a lot of things. We're gonna hear a lot of things in the coming months where you can make it even more bigger and much more larger than what it just seems right now.
Yeah. I think it was very interesting to see how excited at the expo, the kiosks were at MBAS, where we had the team, the PowerApps and the Flow team, and I was just stopping by and doing like the demo and just talking to them. You could tell like they were just even more excited than us, to explain things to you. And I was like, wow, this is what we need, This is the kind of team and the product that needs to be behind it, who are just so passionate about the product, and they're just excited even. They've probably repeated the same thing like for thousands of users who've come there, but they were not at all tired to explain the whole thing back again to me. And so it was just amazing to see. I think it just speaks to how invested the entire team is.
Cool. Yeah, I mean, I've always thought that too, that just such an exciting platform in general that it's hard not to be excited about it.
Yeah, actually on the keynote that James Phillips had, you probably watched it, he had a slide that showed numbers on the adoption rate, and it was just incredible to see how fast this product has been adopted, and how many apps are being built, and compared to how it was when it just started like 2 years back. So,
And if we look at like the whole platform, it's really interesting that they keep on expanding it, because we have AI Builder, but something else that has been announced was PowerAddicts Portals. And that's actually a big deal as well. And
do you want to talk a little bit about that?
Well, I can a little bit. But PowerAddicts Portals is like the external story of the Power Platform.
Oh no! Somebody.
So it's kind of the external story. They are. Whoops.
Sandy, I think only you can mute it.
Oh, sorry.
Okay. I guess it was they muted themselves. Yeah. Okay, go ahead.
So you have PowerAddicts Portals for the external story, so you can see those as your my environment at different companies. Like you have a place where you can log in and where you can handle your business at that company. If you have customers, you can let them on your portal and fill in some details or edit the orders they have done and stuff like that. And you can actually create some forms, for instance, into CDS. And that's really interesting, because then when somebody enters a form and they submit it, then they can, for instance, they can trigger a flow or a business process flow, or do something else. And that's really, really, really interesting, I think. And
So for the portals, do the external people using it need to be set up in your Azure or have like a B2B connection or anything like that?
Well, you can do anonymously.
You can? Okay.
Yeah. But I think most scenarios will be when they are logged in with one of their accounts, or maybe an account you can provide, because it's also possible to create an account, a username and password, and then, for instance, link it with one of your accounts in your CRM.
Okay.
Nice. Okay. Yeah, that's really interesting. And it's going to be like a little bit like WordPress or something. It's like a look and feel like WordPress.
And
yeah.
Oh.
And you
kind
can
of like
add
make it
images.
look like a native app, any mobile or device.
Yeah.
Native
Oh, okay.
app. Yeah.
So it's really interesting to see what's happening there, and I think they are going to integrate a lot more in there. I don't know that for sure, but probably they are going to try to integrate, for instance, Canvas apps in there maybe, or they will be integrating other stuff as well. I saw on the roadmap actually that they are going to integrate Power BI embedded. So that could give us some really nice stories actually. So that you can show some graphs to your customer about what they have filled in your portal, for instance, or stuff like that. It's really interesting.
Nice.
Yeah.
Anything else anybody want to say about stuff that was announced?
One, I think it's part of the release plan. I think canceling of approvals. I think that was something that was the most awaited feature. You know, especially if you sent out an approval, you want to retract it, or there was a mistake in the request, and you decide that you don't want to move forward with it. Well, now you have a way to do it, and I think that's a very big. That's really helpful.
What is the way? Is it through an action, a flow action?
Yeah,
or,
I think it's through. Yeah, you could go to your approvals, and you can actually cancel it.
To the approval center.
Yeah.
Okay. Nice.
Yeah. So that's really nice.
Anything else?
I saw also something about BPF because BPF is actually. When you create a BPF, you always have to hook it up with a CDS entity, and they are going to change that. So I think they call it immersive BPFs, and that's or business process flows for immersive experiences. That's what it's called. And that's something that's on the release for October. Okay. And that's interesting as well.
So what does that mean though? Exactly, do you know? Or does it say?
Well, now you have to hook in your BPF to one entity, and then when you go to a different entity, you have a new BPF and stuff like that.
Okay.
So now you can do something else on that.
Or will be.
So that's really interesting. Okay. Yeah.
So this stuff is for things that would begin in October, but could be sometime during the fall, winter, on into starting in the spring.
Yeah.
So, it seemed like some of the stuff was going to be available for preview and some not. And so on on this link on the roadmap or on the release plan, it says which things you might get early access to and so on, right?
Yeah, and you can always look at the website and in the what's new and planned sections, you can always see what's when the public preview is coming and when the general availability is. So that's always handy to see that.
Yeah, I love this transparency.
Yeah, and it kind of helps you be prepared for what's coming your way, and
right, that too.
Yeah. Definitely.
Yeah, and most of the timelines they made them, so it's kind of they don't disappoint a lot on that. So that's a good thing. So I have seen like one or two things that have gone past the deadline, so that's not bad for that big of a release plan.
Right. I mean, I think to put something on there, I think Microsoft is probably close in, or close enough to be sure that they could meet those dates, or else they wouldn't put it on probably.
Yeah.
I think the recent few months there have been a whole lot of features being released and announced, right? Just I think for me at least, it's just gotten a little difficult to keep up with it because it's just so much out there that's come out, and I think that's where shows like the Flow Pro show and you guys are doing come into play, where it's your one-stop shop. You come here, just get your scoop on what's available and what's coming up, and I think that's super helpful what you guys are doing here.
Thanks.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah.
So that's a good bridge into what's coming up.
Yep. I think that's all I've got in slides. So, do you want to? I don't know if you have a sites open. We want to talk about conferences.
Yeah, I'm gonna look at the sites right now, but we have 2 conferences coming up, and the first one is
solely dedicated to Flow.
Yeah. So they have the Microsoft Flow Conference 2019, and that's September 10th. And that's being organized by John Levesque of the Flow team.
Right, so it's an actual Microsoft conference.
Yeah. So it's really, really interesting. And the call for speakers just opened. So we'll put that in our show notes, and you can go to Sessionize to submit a session. And I think it closes July 20th.
That's right.
I think that's right.
Yeah. So we still have some time to submit our sessions. But don't wait too long.
Right.
Because
everybody watching this show should if you have flows you want to demo, or something that you'd like to show off, or some knowledge that you have around even a specific part of Flow, be sure to submit a session, because it's a three-day conference, right?
Yeah.
So there's plenty of room for lots of speakers.
And there's also another conference, and that's from Collab 365, I think.
Yes.
And it's the Microsoft Flow Virtual Summit. And Sandy, maybe you can talk a little bit about that, because I don't know that much about it.
If you have it open, can you just confirm? I think it's July 10th and 11th.
Yeah, that's correct.
I think it's a 2-day conference. I'm speaking at it, but I'm not sure which day I'm speaking, because they're recorded sessions. But that should be good. I participated in the PowerApps one that was a few months ago too, and so that'll be a virtual conference where you log in. It's free to join, and you just watch as much as you want. But I believe that if you want the on-demand later, like if you want to watch the recordings, then there's an all-access pass that you can buy that would give you access to those recordings, plus a bunch of more stuff. You get like discounts on things and a voucher for stuff and ebooks and things like that. So. Yeah.
Okay. Really cool.
So, but it's pretty cool to have all that Flow specific content, especially since things change so often and there are new features all the time that people could talk about.
Yeah. I'm really surprised about how much content is being created for the whole platform, really, because there's so much out there right now, and it's really hard to keep up. But there's so many amazing things happening everywhere, and that's really a good thing. And for instance, if you look back at Flo Joe, for instance, I think it's really crazy that he started a couple months back, I think.
I think. I think it was just after Amsterdam that he started.
Yeah, I met him there, and he was like, he was gonna look into it, and then he's crazy blogging and creating videos, and it's
I think I love how unique his blogs are. I mean, they kind of pick those unique nuances of doing things. It's amazing how how he solves it. It's pretty good.
Yeah, the good thing is there's so much in the platform that you can find your own niche and try to do something in that, rather than just trying to do everything.
Right.
So,
it's true. Yeah. There's several areas that you can focus on. Yeah, it's just expanding as we speak. So.
Yeah, and I always like to meet new people, and that's what I've done a lot the last couple of months, actually, because of all the new people that are coming into the community, and that's really a good thing. So we see a lot more different people right now, so that's good.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I think we'll probably wrap up. Has anybody else had anything to add?
Probably. I mean, this is something I kind of did at MBAS too, but I'd like to repeat that. I'd really kind of like to do like a shout out or thank you to the all of the product team and the engineering team for Microsoft.
Oh, yeah, good idea.
Power BI, because these guys are our enablers. They are the backbone. I mean, they kind of enable us to do so much with the platform, and it's not possible without them. And even the smallest feature that they release makes a big difference to us. But I'm sure there's a lot of work that goes behind it. I mean, you'd think that, it's just a small feature, but then when I spoke to a couple of them, they asked the experts panel and also the team there, and then I realized that even though, to us it looks like it's just a small feature, it's the smallest of things, but it's so many cycles of sprints that they go through to get done. Yeah. And so I think I think as a community, I think we're just very thankful to all the work that you do and all the effort that the entire team puts in, and you guys are truly the enablers that enable us to take this platform to the next step. And so thank you for that.
Yeah. And thank you for being on our show.
Yes.
Yeah,
yes.
Thank you for having us.
So.
Yeah. This was good. It was like a fun fireside chat, and
yeah.
Awesome. Great. And so we'll. Yeah, and I would like to shout out to the community in general, as long as we're shouting out that, I mean, not only the team at Microsoft, but everybody in the Flow and PowerApps communities, but who keeps on pushing Microsoft and keeps on pushing what's possible, and then promoting and working with everything, and evangelizing, but essentially, it's a great way to get a lot of traction with all of this platform.
Okay, now that we are shouting out, I'll shout out to the community PMs, right? I mean, John's on the call, Chuck, all the community PMs. Yeah, I mean, I know the product PMs are the ones who are doing the stuff, but community PMs are kind of the liaisons between us and them. So Brian, Audrey, I mean, sorry, I'm forgetting names here, but all these guys, you are helping us connect to the product team. So thank you for doing what you're doing.
Definitely.
Yeah, I think truly they kind of take us closer to the product and the platform in general. And I think it's not possible if we have that kind of a liaison between the actual product. We need those spaces that you can relate to, because when you think about Flow, it's it's John and Gabriel and all the PMs that you can think of, and if it's PowerApps, you think of Brian and Audrey and all those folks. I think it definitely helps, and they're so giving and so generous and always ready to jump in and help and answer questions. And I think this is something unprecedented. I have not seen this in any other community, and there's a reason why. When you say it's a global movement, it truly is, and it starts with Microsoft, the team, the PMs, and then it kind of leads down to us. But I totally agree with that.
Yeah, cool. Okay. All right. Well, I think we'll say goodbye then for now. And it's been great chatting with you guys, and thank you to everyone who came into the chat.
Thanks, Sandy.
Hi,
Sandy. Hi, I'm so sorry. I wanted to interject. So one of my counterparts, we just started using Teams, and we are addicted to it. We absolutely love it. And we feel like Flow is something that could really change, like kind of make a gigantic impact on how a lot of our group uses it. We are very, very new. And that's why I feel embarrassed probably joining this forum, because you all sound like extreme experts.
No. That's what we're here for.
But I was wondering, would you all mind if I asked you a question? I tried to read so many different forums around a flow I was trying to set up last night, and it was off of a template within Teams. And I cannot make it work. I keep getting an error, and I feel like this is one of the most basic flows. And I feel like if I could figure this one out, maybe it kind of put us on that trajectory of really understanding how to use it. I was wondering I don't know if maybe one of you all could help me on a side, or if I'm just not sure who to go get help from to try to figure it out, because I'm reading all these forums and the errors I'm getting, but I can't seem to figure it out.
Yeah. If you want to ping any one of us, really, like on Twitter or something, and then then we can get in contact. Yeah, we'll be happy to help.
I would love that.
Yep.
because I'm sure you guys will laugh when we ask it because it seems like it's probably very basic,
no,
right?
no,
Which is
no,
I
no question is too
see the
small.
benefit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks
The
for
benefit of
bringing.
it is huge, though.
Yeah.
Thank you guys. So
Sure.
Yep, you're welcome.
thanks, John.
Okay. All right. I'll hang up now, but and so the the recording will be up later this afternoon.
Yeah.
I think it should be. And thank everyone for coming again, and we'll try to get another one out within the next month.
Yeah.
Thank
Yeah, see you at the next
Thank
one.
you.
All right.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Bye.
Bye. So we do actually say bye-bye.
We really did say bye.
Okay. Bye then.
Okay, all right, bye.